Now to part two of our America Decides conversation with presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis. The Florida governor is currently in second place in national polls, but he's a distant runner-up to former President Donald Trump. Tonight, we wanted to talk to him about the issues that matter most to American voters.
Iowans don't want the campaign to be about the past.
Ron DeSantis is toughening his attacks on Donald Trump out on the campaign trail, making the case voters want to look forward. If it's not about the past, do you believe that voters will elect someone who is facing 91 criminal counts?
So I didn't think even before all this that the former president should have run again. I mean, I think that there's too many voters who he's a deal breaker for them.
I mean, Nikki Haley says Americans won't vote for a convicted criminal. Do you agree with that?
I think the chance of getting elected president after being convicted of a felony is as close to zero as you can get.
Let's talk about some of the issues that matter most to voters. How does a President DeSantis get inflation down?
Stop spending so much money. We need a president that's going to be a force for spending restraint, because that's one of the root causes with Congress spending so much. 2, open up domestic energy production. Energy costs are a huge part of inflation.
On that issue of spending, the issue is that, in fact, Republicans, and under Donald Trump, he added $8 trillion to the debt. And as Nikki Haley pointed out during the debate, Republicans have earmarked more in spending bills than Democrats do. Do Republicans have a spending problem?
Yes, of course. This is Republicans and Democrats in D.C. that have done this. This is not just one political party. Republicans talk big when they're out of power, but when they get in, they don't put their money where their mouth is. And you know, you're right. Donald Trump added almost $8 trillion to the debt in 4 years. He ran saying he was going to eliminate the national debt, maybe over an 8-year period, but he did make that promise, and they did the opposite.
Promise.
Well, of course it is.
There is new data out that the number of abortions in Florida has actually increased, and increased since Dobbs. For those who oppose abortion rights, is it time to enact a national ban on abortion?
Well, here, the issue with Florida is that the southeastern states have very, very strong pro-life laws. Florida is litigating under a 15-week, and so we have become, against our wishes, a destination. Now, we've also done the Heartbeat Protection Act, which would go into effect once the courts clear this, which I think would probably stop the whole abortion tourism thing. So we don't want to be an abortion tourism destination.
Why won't you answer that question?
What do you mean?
About why you would support a federal ban.
I support pro-life policies. I'll be a pro-life president. But at the same time, you know, I've got to chart the course and be honest with people about, okay, how do you advance the ball like we did in Florida? And the way you do that is really bottom up.
We asked the governor whether the penalties mentioned in Florida's 6-week ban would include women.
We have no criminal penalty. The penalties are for the physician. I mean, a lot of these
Governor,
women
I read the bill. It says just this. It does include jail time and fines for, quote, any person who willfully performs or actively participates in a termination of pregnancy.
And that's for the providers. That is not for the women.
Is a woman not actively participating in the termination of her pregnancy?
No, because she's not a medical practitioner. So there are no women.
So you are not for criminalizing women?
No, absolutely not. And that will not happen in Florida.
Well, there were so many important issues to cover with the governor. We asked him about the NAACP warning that Florida is openly hostile for African Americans, people of color, and LGBTQ individuals. His answer is on our CBSNews.com website.